This is our friend's house, and they've hired us to renovate their main living spaces.
For the past several weeks, we've been working in their kitchen, demoing the space, and building new custom cabinets. And this week, for the first time, we'll be stepping into their living room and starting our first project in this space.
So grab a warm drink and join us for the adventures of my DIY wife and her non-handy husband. So before we jump into today's project, we have a very special announcement, a big announcement that we've been waiting on for a few weeks, and that is we are now opening up exclusive behind the scenes videos for our DIY wife members. And so if you're someone who gets to the end of our videos and you're like, I want more, then we have created these videos for you. We're gonna take you behind the scenes of the projects that we're doing.
It stings.
We're giving pro tips. She's like, I got fiberglass in my arms. We're gonna take you behind the scenes on experiences that we don't share on YouTube, like going on the Rachel Ray Show. We wanna talk about what was it really like to be on the Rachel Ray Show, and even answer some Q&A from our DIY Wife members. So if you're interested in getting 2 extra DIY Wife videos a month and you want to become a DIY Wife member, then check out the link in the description where we'll put all of the information, and you can actually go there right now. The first video is up, it's live, it's over 30 minutes. You can hang out with us, go behind the scenes, so we will catch you there, and check the link in the description.
This is our friend's living room, and it is already a great space with a ton of potential, but we really wanted to help them make it special and unique to their family. The first step in a project like this is to meet with a client, or in this case, our friends, and talk through every detail, look at tons of pictures, and get a good idea of what their design style even is.
I love the muted earthiness of that terracotta.
Once we have figured out what their design style is and how we want these spaces to function, the next step is for Justine and I to come in and start talking through every single detail. We talk through paint colors, flooring, furniture layout, rugs, accessories, and then make sure that the plans for the entire house flow together in a way that feels cohesive. That'll be easier to tie in since it's not going to be right next to it. When I actually start thinking of the how to do it, I feel like this is perfect, right?
It is, yeah.
This is the West Elm swatch. The one from Maiden Home is called Cider.
So pretty.
Me too. I don't know what.
Tell me what you think about those colors. That feels really good. Thanks, bro.
I can do a different sectional too. Something about that one I really liked. I'm like, can I do this in my house?
I think these in black would be really cool.
Bye, Justine. Is this the life or what? Would you mind if I lay down there with you?
Looking a little bit concerned. Who is this weirdo? I know. I'd be getting up too.
Once Justine and I had landed on all of the major design elements, it was time to come back and actually measure for rugs and furniture so we could get those ordered.
Got some helpers.
Thank you. When trying to figure out sizing for furniture and rugs, I have found it extremely helpful to tape out the exact dimensions of the furniture and rugs that you're looking at to give a really accurate idea of how the pieces will fit in the space.
Could I chew on that stick too?
We will be going with a large L-shaped sectional in this room, and I really wanted to make sure that there was enough walkway all around it and the piece just felt right for the space.
All right, have you solved the mystery?
I think so. This is another one of those, like, you gotta plan. You do not want to order the wrong size. Once I figured out the right size for the sectional, it was time to lay out all of my design, finishes, and materials and make sure everything felt right for the space. All right. So this is the part I get really excited about and that I've been spending a lot of time thinking through. We are planning to go with a really light modern flooring for this house. Same luxury vinyl planks that we've used in the last big project we did. I love these floors. For the sofa, we're gonna do a really big low sectional in here, and I found this perfect velvet. We thought of going with leather, but one, it's super expensive and it's just not as cozy as a nice fabric sofa sometimes, and since this would be their main piece of furniture in here, I thought, you know what, velvet would look awesome, and this color is perfect. This is actually going to be our kitchen cabinet color that we are going to do on the built-ins as well on both sides of the fireplace to bring in a really rich pop of color, and I am so excited about this, and it's fun seeing it all here together. It is gonna look so awesome. And then this is the rug that we plan to use. It just adds some really nice texture. It's a nice light neutral color, but I love this rug. We put it in our closet and now I'm like, where else can I put this rug? This is exciting. I'm like, can we be done with everything else so I can like put the furniture in here? After all of this talking and dreaming and planning, we finally had a really solid plan for this space, and here is the mood board that we've come up with. I am so excited about this design, and now that we have a plan in place, we're ready to get started on the first project in this room, and that is modifying these built-ins on either side of the fireplace. Whew.
Let's go.
All right, so today's plan is to modify some built-ins that are around the fireplace. So we're gonna run over there, measure them really quick, and then run to Lowe's, get all the materials that we need, and get these built-ins modified.
Let's do it. Whoa, 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 wait. What? What are we even talking right here? I don't know, but I'm about to find out. Whoa, brother. Okay, so we have some sort of moist, chocolatey, delicious cake. We're gonna give it a taste test here. Yes, it passes the test. It's delicious. All right, so we are gonna be modifying these built-ins on both sides of the fireplace today and adding a fun arch detail and then carrying that middle bit of the shelf down. And so before we go get materials, I'm gonna measure. I've already kind of sketched out the arch just to make sure I like the way it looks, but we're gonna measure so we can figure out how many pieces of plywood we need. Once I finished getting all of the measurements I needed, we packed up and headed to Lowe's to get materials. All right, so I got all of my measurements. We're heading to Lowe's to get the materials we need to modify these built-ins and add the arches to them. Yeah. All right, the test of glory. It worked.
We made it. Once we got back with the materials, I measured one last time and then got to work.
Once again, the excitement level here is off the charts.
I started by cutting my plywood down to the width of my built-ins and then brought it inside to make sure it would fit. When I got inside, I realized there was one middle piece of trim I needed to remove before I could test out this board. All right, so we're running back over to our house, which is like 10 minutes away, to grab a track saw, or like the track saw guide, I guess it technically is. This is the hard part about working not at your own house, is there's usually at least one tool that you forget. All right, so I got my Craig AccuCut thing, but I realized I didn't get all of it. There's a part that attaches to my saw. Apparently I'm like tired or something, but I'm gonna just clamp this onto the board, use it kind of as a straight edge, which I could have done with a board. And so now I feel dumb because we wasted 20 minutes, but it is what it is. We're gonna see how much we can get done.
This is real life construction.
After all that, it ended up working better to just use a board as a straight edge, and so I simply clamped that onto the plywood and then used my circular saw to trim off the edge. Thankfully, this time the piece fit perfectly.
Nice.
That meant I was ready to measure, mark, and cut the arch. I essentially used the same process that I did in last week's video to make the arch doorways and put a screw at the midpoint of my board and then used a string and a pencil to mark the arch. Once I had it marked, I used my jigsaw and carefully cut along that line. Next, I gave it all a quick sanding, making sure to sand the inside of the arch to get rid of any imperfections left from the jigsaw. With that, our first arch was just about finished. All right, it's a new day and I have the first arch all cut. We checked that it fits and it does. We're gonna get started on the second side, so the right side of the fireplace. First, I need to measure, and then there's one little trim piece down the middle that I need to cut off and remove that. We'll cut our plywood and get started. Okay, we've cut the width down on the piece of plywood. I'm gonna go ahead and take it inside and make sure that it actually fits before cutting the arch, because it'll be a lot easier to trim it down if it doesn't, rather than doing the arch part first. So let's carry that in, check it out, hopefully it fits, and then we can cut the arch. Great. Once I had made sure that the board fit, I used my first arch as a template and traced the arch onto the second board. And then I again used my jigsaw to carefully cut along that line. Alright, so while I was cutting with the jigsaw, it's pretty much impossible to avoid any little chips, especially when you're going against the grain. And so I'm going to go back with a little bit of wood filler, just fill those in quickly and let it dry. And then I'll sand it down just so I have a nice perfectly flat, smooth surface. After the wood filler dried, I sanded everything down to give it a nice smooth finish. Next, I used my Craig jig to make pocket holes all along the back of the arch so that I can easily attach it to the built-ins. I'm just gonna be really careful not to drop this. As I stumble up. There. You don't have to hold it anymore. Sorry.
Are you making a skateboard ramp or?
It's like a what would you call that?
A half pipe?
Next, I made pocket holes on the back of the second arch. It's so blurry. It's so blurry.
This is a good scene for romance.
Darling, my love, you are very sweaty right now.
After we had both arches installed, it was time to cut a new trim piece for the middle of the built-ins. For this, I used 1x2 poplar boards and added pocket holes on one end to secure the bottom to the built-ins, and then sanded the entire piece smooth. Finally, I attached the trim piece with the pocket holes at the bottom and then brad nails all the way up.
It's exciting, isn't it? Well, nice job on these built-ins, and I can already start to see that this living room is going to look incredible when you're done with it.
Yeah, I would say it's looking awesome, but really it's still looking kind of a mess, but I can see it in my head, and we've got to show that mood board because I am so excited about the living room. It is going to look so good and so different, and I feel like just really fit their style, and it's gonna look great.
So today was just step 1 of transforming this living room, and next week will be step 2 where Andrea will actually be plastering the fireplace. It's gonna look incredible, so don't miss us in next week's episode. This looks really awkward. It's a little better maybe, or does my shoulder?
Our hips are too wide. This is going well.
Why are y'all like grunting so much? Oh.
Grunting? Oh. Okay.
Are you wanting to play or something? What all you got here, bud?
Are you just so happy to have people
here.
I got all my stuff
You're
I
so
wanted to show you.
fluffy.
Are you excited about the renovation, or what do you think?
Yeah.
Yes? Is that a yes? Yes, yes, yes. Foot hockey. Foot hockey.
The bite out of it.
Mm-hmm. Got a little snack attack, huh?
Oh my gosh.
Is it nice?
It smells good. It
Gosh.
smells a lot better than the Bath and Body Works.
They're beautiful. Excuse me, I was just wondering if I could get an interview. I wanted to get your thoughts on the remodel so far. Oh, excuse me, I would like to get your thoughts on the remodel as well. Would you mind commenting on it?
You got a friend in me.